welcome to my YouTube channel. Myself Ujjwal Boro. So in this video, I'm going to discuss about the old NCERT Class 6 Geography, Chapter 2, that is the how globes and maps help us, and the Chapter 3, latitudes and longitudes. So let's start. How globes and maps help us. So globe is nothing but it is a model of art. It is very accurate because the shapes and size of continents and oceans can be shown correctly. Distances and directions on the globe are also correct. Globes for long have not been easy to carry around, but now folding globes are available, which can be kept even in our pockets. And then maps, however, landforms, roads, railway, towns and villages, etc. cannot be shown on a globe properly. So therefore we use maps which are drawn on flat surfaces. So it is a representative of earth surface or a part of it on a flat surface according to a scale. They show the earth's surface or a part of it drawn according to a scale. It is impossible to flatten a round shape completely. So as a result, the northern and the southern portions of our earth are stretched out of proportion. Then there are different types of maps are there: the political maps, physical maps and the other maps. So political maps showing different countries and states of the world with their boundaries. And then physical maps showing physical features of the earth, such as landforms of different elevations, that means the mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers, oceans, etc. So there are also maps showing different kinds of weather or the distributions of forests, industries, people, etc. And then in a map, it is a common practice that the top of the map shows the north and its bottom shows the south. You can see in this figure. It means that when you are looking at the map, its right hand side will be east, and then you can see, and then left side will be the west. So however, when you are referring to directions on a map, do not refer them as top or bottom or right or left of the map. So refer to them as north, south, east and west. So that is the different types of maps. And then sketch is nothing but is a drawing usually made from one's imaginations without measuring the actual distance on the ground. And then plan is nothing but is a large scale drawing showing greater details. And then so conventional symbols of maps. So it is not possible to draw on a map the actual shape and size of different features such as buildings, a well or a tree. So therefore these features are represented by various symbols. With the help of such symbols, it is easier and quicker to draw a map. The symbols also make the map clearer and easier to read. So as there has been a common agreement, the world, the use of these symbols, they are called conventional symbols. Some of the important conventional symbols are shown in this figure 1 and 2. So this is the meteorite, car track, footprint, this is the railway, meteoric stream, etc. Then post office, PO, boundaries. So these are the the right hand side you can see this is the Kailan town and its surroundings. Okay, these symbols are given in these maps. This grass you can see, and then Thana you can see. This is the Kailan town. So these are the conventional symbols that is used in maps, and then they could be of great help in our daily lives. Maps could be of great help in our daily lives. For example, suppose Raju, this is the sketch showing a part of Koilan town and the plan of Raju's classroom. So for example, suppose Raju invites Roshan and Anand to visit his home. Since both of them do not know the exact locations of Raju's house, so they ask Raju to give directions from Roshan's house. This is the Raju's house, this is the Roshan house, you can see in these maps. So Raju may say, as you come out of your home onto the road and then turn right and walk past to the cinema hall and cross the railway overbridge. Okay, so this is the railway overbridge. When you reach the clock tower, turn left. This is the clock tower, turn left and keep going on. After some distance you will find the gate of my house on your right. So still Roshan and Anand feels that they may not remember the way. So therefore Raju makes a sketch, a rough drawing of this road without using any scale. As seen in this figure, such a rough drawing which is drawn without measuring the distance, so that is called a sketch. Okay, so now Roshan and Anand can reach. So now Roshan and Anand can reach Raju's place easily with the help of some landmarks such as traffic lights, road crossing, railway overbridge, etc. But the distance and directions may not be very accurate in such a case because it has been drawn without measuring them properly. As such, where accuracy is required, one needs to measure the actual distance on the ground and transfer it proportionately to the drawing with the help of a scale. Sometimes we want to know the actual measurement of various objects in our surroundings. For example, you may like to know the length and breadth of the Raju's classrooms. To know that, you will require a plan such as that you can see in this figure. So compare the scale of the plane with the scale of the map. You will notice that while 1 centimeter on the plane shows 1 meter, on the ground 1 centimeter on the map shows 1 kilometer. So thus a plane shows a small area on a large scale, but a map shows a large area on a small scale. A plane can show you details such as the length and breadth of the room and the positions of the door, windows, desk and the blackboard. On the other hand, a map shows only important features because it has to cover a large area. So there are maps, sketches and plans and has its own advantages. So a map has the advantages that it can show a very big area, say a continent, a country or a part of the country, but because of its small scale it can show only the important features of the area and not many details. A sketch has the advantage that it can be drawn quickly, sometimes roughly, to give an idea of the positions of a few things in any area. So it may or may not have a scale. A plan can show a small area in great detail because of its large scale. Thus with the help of this aids, we can show many features of the land very conveniently of flat surfaces. So in this chapter we have learned about the maps and then globes and then the different types of maps. These are political maps and then physical maps and then other maps and then sketch and then plan. In the next chapter we will discuss about the latitudes and longitudes. So you can easily look at a place on the surface of the earth with reference to another place, but if there is no place or point of reference, you will be in a difficulty. So the earth is a sphere and has no edges from which you can measure your distance. It has however two fixed point, that is a north pole and a south pole, which serve as a basic points of reference. Okay, so one set of lines are drawn in between the two poles in an east-west directions. These are parallel to the equator. That is why they are called parallel of latitudes. Okay, so these are the lines. These are called parallel of equator. So this is a diagram. This helps to understand the parallel of latitudes and meridians of the longitude. Okay, so these are the parallel of latitudes and then these are the meridian of longitudes. Okay, so the other set of lines are drawn and joining the north and south pole. They are semicircle. Wait. If we draw like this, north pole to south pole. Okay. Like this. These are called longitude. Sorry. These are called longitude and these are called latitude. So one set of lines are drawn in between the two poles in an east or west direction. So this is east and then west. This side west. Then north. This is south pole. So the other set of lines are drawn joining the north and south pole. You can see these are, so they are these are semicircle and these are called the meridians of longitude. Okay, so however on some maps they appear as east west and north south lines. With the help of these lines we can determine the positions of any place on the surface of that, and then from this is called the prime meridian. Okay, so these all are not really exist. These are imaginary line. Okay, so joins the North Pole and South Pole is an imaginary line. Another imaginary line, that is the equator. You can see both the figure. So which is drawn in such a way that at all points it lies exactly halfway between North Pole and South Pole. You can see this is the equator. It was divides the earth into two equal parts, that is the northern hemisphere. Okay, this is northern hemisphere. This is northern hemisphere, and then southern hemisphere. Okay. Latitude is a measure of the angular distance of a given point from the equator. So it is measured in degrees from the equator toward either pole. 1 degree is divided into 60 equal parts, and each unit is called a minute. A minute is further divided into 60 equal parts, and each unit is called second. The equator represents the 0 degree latitude. You can see it represents the 0 degree latitude. Since the distance from the equator to either of the poles is 1/4 of a circle around the earth, it will measure 1/4 of 360 degree, that means the 90 degree. So thus 90 degree north latitude marks the North Pole, and the 90 degree south latitude marks the South Pole. So as such, all points north of the equator are called north latitudes, and similarly these are called north latitude, and then similarly all points south of the equator are called the south latitudes. So the value of each latitude is therefore followed by either the word north or south. Generally this is indicated by the letter N and S. So for example, both Ernakulam in Kerala, India, and Lindi in Tanzania, Africa are located at the parallel of 10 degree latitude, but the former is 10 degree north of the equator and the latter is 10 degrees south of it. We therefore say that Ernakulam is situated at 10 degree north latitude and Lindi is situated at 10 degree south latitude. So important parallels of latitudes. The equator is the largest possible circle which can be drawn around the earth. There are some other important parallels of latitude which have been given special name. Okay, see in this diagram, that is the northern hemisphere. Okay, so Tropic of Cancer, you can see this is the Tropic of Cancer, that is under the northern hemisphere. So it is an angular distance of 23.5 degree north from the equator. And then if you see the map of India, you will find the Tropic of Cancer runs in and east-west directions almost midway through our country. And the Tropic of Capricorn, you can see in the southern hemisphere, 23 degree half degrees south, Tropic of Cancer, that is in the southern hemisphere. Okay, is another parallel similar to the Tropic of Cancer, but is in the southern hemisphere. The Arctic Circle lies at the distance of 66.5 degree south, north of the equator, and the Antarctic Circle. Okay, this is the Arctic Circle, that is in the North Pole, that is the North Hemisphere, and the Antarctic Circle 66 degree 30 south in the southern hemisphere. Then heat zones of the earth. Okay, so the midday sun is exactly overhead at least once a year on all latitudes in between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. You can see there is a Tropic of Cancer and then Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So this area, so therefore the midday sun is exactly overhead at least once a year on all latitudes in between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. So this area therefore receives the maximum heat and is called a torrid zone. Okay, so it receives the maximum heat in once a year, so that is why this area is called a torrid zone. And then the midday sun never shines overhead on any latitude beyond the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. The angle of the sun rays goes on decreasing towards the poles. This goes on a decreasing towards the pole beyond the Arctic and the Antarctic Circle. So the sun does not rise much above the horizon. As such, the areas bounded by the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere and the Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere have moderate temperature. Okay, these have the moderate temperature. These are therefore called a temperate zone. This is the south temperate zone and then north temperate zone. So areas lying between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole in the northern hemisphere and the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole in the southern hemisphere are very cold. It is because the sun does not rise much above the horizon, so therefore its rays are always very slanting. These are therefore called the frigid zone. Okay, this is the Antarctic Circle, this is frigid zone, and then this the Arctic Circle, that is the frigid zone in the northern hemisphere. Then the longitude. Okay, to fix the positions of a place, it is necessary to now know something more than the latitude of that place. You can see, for example, that Hyderabad in Pakistan and Allahabad in India are situated on the same latitude. That means the 25 degree 25 north. Now in order to locate them precisely, we must find out how far east or west these places are from given line of reference running from the North Pole to the South Pole. So these lines of reference are called the meridians of longitude, and the distance between them are measured in degrees of longitude. So each degrees is further divided into minutes and seconds. They are semicircle, and the distance between them decreases steadily polewards until it becomes zero at the poles where all these meridians meet. So unlike parallels of latitude, all meridians are of equal length, thus it was difficult to number the meridians. Hence all countries decided that count should begin from the meridian which passed through Greenwich, where the British Royal Observatory is located. So this meridian was called the prime meridian. So that is start from the Greenwich, which is located in the UK, Britain. So its value is 0 degree longitude, and from it we count 180 degree eastward as well as 180 degree westward. So therefore the longitude of a place is followed by the letter E or W. Thus if we have to state the longitude of Jabalpur, which is situated 82 degree east of Greenwich, we shall say that its longitude is 82 degree east. So it is however interesting to note that 180 degree east and 180 degree west meridians are the same line. Okay, so now look at the grid of the parallel latitude and meridians of longitude on the globe. You can locate any point on the globe very easily if you know its latitude and longitude. For example, Dhuburi in Assam is situated 26 degree north latitude and 90 degree east longitude. Find out the point where these two lines cut each other. The point will be, the locations of Dhuburi. And then longitude and time. So this is the Greenwich. It is 0 degree. So the best means of measuring time is by the movement of the earth, the moon and the planets. The sun regularly rises and sets every day, and naturally it is the best timekeeper throughout the world. Local time can be reckoned by the shadow cast by the sun, which is shortest at noon and longest at sunrise and sunset. So when the prime meridian of Greenwich has the sun at the highest point in the sky, all the places along this meridian will have midday or noon. Okay. So as the earth rotates from west to east, those places east of Greenwich will be ahead of Greenwich time, and those to the west will be behind it. So rate of difference can be calculated as follows. Okay, the earth rotates 360 degree in about 24 hours, which means 15 degree an hour or 1 degree in 4 minutes. Thus when it is 12 noon at Greenwich, the time at 15 degree east of Greenwich will be 15 into 460 minutes. That means 1 hour ahead of Greenwich time, which means 1 p.m. But at 15 degree west of Greenwich, the time will be behind Greenwich time by 1 hour. That means it will be 11 a.m. Similarly, at 180 degree, it will be midnight when it is 12 noon at Greenwich. At any place, a watch can be adjusted to read, 12 o'clock when the sun is at highest point in the sky. That means when it is midday. The time shown by such a watch will give the local time for that place. You can see that all places on a given meridian of longitude have the same local time. Then now standard time. Okay, so the local time or places where are on different meridians are bound to differ. This will create a problems for people. For example, it will be difficult to prepare a timetable for trains which cross several longitudes. In India, for instance, there will be a difference of about 1 hour and 45 minutes in the local times of Dwarka in Gujarat and Dibrugarh in Assam. It is therefore necessary to adopt the local time of some central meridian of a country as a standard time for the country. In the India, the longitude of 82 degree 30 second east, 82 degree 30 second east is treated as the standard meridian. The local time at this meridian is taken as the standard time for the whole country. It is known as the standard meridian. Okay, the local time at this meridian is taken as the standard time for the whole country. It is known as the Indian Standard Time, that is the IST. Some countries have the great longitudinal extent, and so they have adopted more than one standard time. For example, in Russia there are as many as 11 standard time. Okay, the USA has adopted more than 24 time zones of 1 hour. Each zones those cover 15-degree longitude. So these are the important terms we have understand from this chapter. So axis is nothing but it is an imaginary straight line joining the two poles on which the earth rotates. Then poles to the 2 points on the earth through which the imaginary axis passes. And then parallels of latitudes, imaginary circles running parallel to the equator. Meridians of longitudes, imaginary semicircles running from pole to pole. And then latitudes, angular distance of a place from the equator. Then longitude, angular distance of a place from the prime meridian. Local time is nothing but the time reckoned by the known sun at given place. Standard time is the local time of the standard meridian of a country. So this is all about in this lectures video. Thank you so much.